Hey, hello. Hi there. I'm live now. Sorry I'm a bit late because I am trying a new setup with Restream that actually, if this is successful, you should be able to see it on Twitch and YouTube as well. But I will have to catch up with YouTube afterwards. I know that it's working on Twitch because I'm monitoring the chat room right now. So if you have come in and joined me, then type in the chat room and I will be able to answer your questions if you have any. So today is the officially is the first time that we have this World of WoqlCraft. It's a mouthful. What is WoqL? Maybe I should give the introduction to WoqL actually. Luckily, I have this little browser window here that is available. Now it's showing schema.org, which is something that we're going to do today. What we're going to do today is to play with WoqL. So this is all this series about, right? So we're going to play with WoqL. It's a bit like actually the name we come up with the name when I was chatting to World of WoqLCraft when I was chatting with my colleague, and then my colleague is a fan of World of Warcraft, and I'm a fan of Minecraft. So I'm thinking like, well, we have this WoqL query language that is like Lego. We can like um call all these methods and build them like Lego blocks. So it's kind of like Minecraft. You can craft your own thing. And so I combine all this idea together. So it's a World of Warcraft, World of WoqlCraft. It's difficult to pronounce, but it's gonna be fun. So yeah, maybe I should really give you an introduction, because this is the first time that we have it. I wish that if you are interested in seeing what you see today, you would be able to try it out. It's free. It's not like the game that you have to buy it. It's open source, so everything you can download it for free to play along with me. So instead of schema.org, I'm going to show you where you can get this awesome Terminus DB and WoqL thing going on. So what is Terminus DB? So Terminus DB, yes, please, if you are watching this, do it like together. If you're watching the video, you can pause, which is better, so you can follow along. So yeah, so Terminus DB. Oh, I actually realized that a little bit was cropped off at the top for my browser window, but it's fine. Um, so yeah, you can see that like Terminus DB, we are a we are a graph database. We are open source graph database that we can store data like Git. So you can do a lot of crazy things. We are developing Hub at the moment, so it will be launching very soon. That will let you do what you do on GitHub. So it's gonna be super awesome that you can collaborate. So today I was chatting with my colleague that it would be awesome that if we can just pass our structure of the graph, pass the data to one from one to each other, that would be amazing. So that's why we're building it. I think it's useful for everybody. So that's why we are doing it. Yay! So yeah, so where can you download it and try it? I think the easiest way is to get a Docker image. So if you have actually, let's go to our GitHub. Actually, we have a little menu here that we quickly go to our GitHub. So um, if you are using Mac, like me, I'm a Mac user, or if you are a Linux user, um, you probably like already familiar with Docker. It's very convenient. So you can basically just go to not our server because this one we also have something coming up that is going to allow Windows user just install it locally on Windows. But right now, if you're a Windows user, you also need to use the easiest way is to just use Docker. But we will have you covered soon, very soon. So let's go to our quick start here. Sorry, like your window may be a little bit small to see the browser, but I'm reading it out, so hopefully you can still get it. So if you go to our repo, our GitHub repo, we have Terminus QuickStart. So Terminus QuickStart is a script that is written by my colleague, and basically you can just download this repo. and just run. Actually, all the instructions are here. You won't get lost. You just run, terminus slash, I think terminus hyphen container, and then run, and that's it. And it's handle it all the thing for you. You don't have to even know Docker to use it, which is very good. So this is the quick start. So if you have Docker, you can just download Terminus now and like Terminus DB now and just follow along. One other thing that I'm gonna use today is a Python client because I'm a Pythonister. I like building stuff with Python, so we are using Python clients today. So Python clients, you don't have to go to the repo to download it. You can just pip install. It's super convenient. And also for today, um, after that, all the script will be on our tutorial as well. So yeah, 1 second. So yeah, here the tutorials. So it's very slow, the internet. I have some internet problems recently in my flat. I think since our prime minister announced everybody needs to stay at home, I think the internet usage is just like ram up like crazy. So yeah, now my connection is not as good as I want. So the script is actually work in progress. I'm still building it because all of these like coding project is like I always describe it as plastic surgery. You always want to add something more, make it better. So it's never end. So it's like people who got addicted to plastic surgery. They're always not happy with themselves. They want to make some changes. So this is like this. So yeah, it's but you can see like all the like I think everything that I covered today you can find it here in this script. So requirement.txt, it lets you install using Python, install all the libraries that you need. So you can see you have Terminus client Python. We're using 0.0.18 today. If you're watching this in the future, we may already move forward because we'll have a big change when we have help. So it's a good change. But if you're watching this in the future, so you may want to make sure that you got the right version. Also for the container, I think I'm using 0.0.17 if I remember correctly. But I think I would maybe I would type in the description so to make sure that you're using the right version. So you can follow along, and also we're using pandas as well because pandas is handy. Because a lot of things we gotta read in the CSV and build our schema from there. So yeah, so pandas is the best tool for doing that if you have used panda before. They deal with CSV very well. But in order to handle graph, of course, use TerminusDB. So you can have both of the good work because TerminusDB will give you a Python client, so you can do both. So which is good. Let's see. So what else? I think we can just start now. We got a code. So let's go back to schema.org. So if you see on the left-hand side, you will see my atom is my IDE of choice because I like atom that you can actually quickly commit your work and then push it. So and it's very simple. I love simple things. My idea of application is like simple is the best. I don't like very overcomplicated tool is overkill in my opinion. I'm drinking Diet Coke because yeah, I've been having this like hay fever since yesterday because I'm naughty. I went to the park. I have been punished by having this hay fever. I should not go anymore. I should really stay at home. Stick in home. Don't go out. Okay. So yeah. So this is schema.org, and you can see that it's actually a very popular scheme that is used by Google and lots of big giants. So what you can do is like if you build a website, you can actually tag your website using some markup that will give. So, like for example, Google, the search engine will understand what it is reading from your website. So, for example, if you have an event, then Google knows to put those little cards. So sometimes when you Google, you see that there are some events that is like appears a little card that show you the time, the date, the venue. So how does Google know that it's not a normal text? Why is it an event? Because you put the tag in. That's how you make good use of it and make your content easily found by people. So yeah. So what we're gonna do is like I've already done it. I've downloaded um I've downloaded the CSV that is describing all the schema.org. So let me show you. We have, I hope it's big enough for you to see, we have all layers, properties, so they are the properties of different things. For example, if we have an event, then maybe one of the property would be the venue. So it kind of links up all these for each thing, an object, what property is available for you to link up. And so also these types, so they are the objects that is available in schema.org. So for example, the event will be one of the types. And also even sometimes the property, they actually are another objects. So for example, a venue can be an object, but it's also a property of an event. So so it also describe it. Some of them are actually kind of like a simple type, so they are not something special. They could be just a text. So for example, an address of a venue could be just a text, because at the end of the day you have to have some form of data that we recognize. So an address, of course, like is printed out as a text. So a text, or in our world, a Python, is called a string. So yeah, so this is the structure of these CSVs. If you're curious, you can go to schema.org and check it out. But I think right now I would just click on it and show you this. Actually, it's not good to show it in Atom because it's a CSV, and yeah, you see, it's just a bunch of text separated by commas. This is what CSV mean for Atom. It's not as like Excel that would put it in cells. In Mac, you can right click on the file in your Finder, and then you can have a quick look of it. So it kind of like more like an Excel format, but it doesn't show everything. So I still haven't figured out a way. Like I don't like installing Excel. For me, it's overkill. I need maybe an open source tool that just specifically handles CSV. Just let me preview it nicely, and that's it. That's all I want to use. Or I can use pandas in a Jupyter Notebook. Um, yeah, there's another way to do it as well. So now we want to build a schema. So let's create a new file. Right, so we're gonna start coding. So first of all, I think what I gotta do is to import the library that we are using. So let's think. In Waco client, actually, if you install a Terminus Python client, when you import it, you actually call it a Waco client. So you can import Waco client. So it will include. Oh, so it's not. Let me save as. It's the syntax highlighted doesn't realize there's a Python until I save it. Or you can put some, the hash and then like, but I like just saving it as, let's say, build schema, build schema dot py. Yeah. So is it working? Yeah, I think the syntax highlighter is firing now, so that's why it's loading. Um, you may not see it, but I see my mouse is, telling me that Atom is doing some heavy lifting right now. It's saving my file, and because I'm running a lot of things on my computer at the same time, so it's kind of slow. I think at some point I may upgrade to a proper Mac, or because I'm just using a MacBook Pro at the moment. It's reaching its limit, and it's not the newest MacBook Pro as well. It's like a 2015 model, so um, it's like a grandfather. It's like Granny. You have to be nice to it, otherwise it will do what it's doing now. It's just not happy, being grumpy, and I may have to restart Atom, which is a very bad thing. No, please don't. Oh god. Come on. No. Oh. I wish I have like a little screen saying like technical difficulty so I can black out right now and I can just fix it. It's awkward. Right. Can I just transition it? Hey. Yeah, it crashed. That's correct. I think I am gonna restart it. Sorry. Sorry. I have to restart it. I think it would disappear from my screen. Yup. Right. I have to restart it. Sorry, guys. Actually, sorry, beautiful people. I should have used guys. I gave a licensing talk about don't use guys. I think it's like a common thing. I have it's a habit that I'm trying to change as well. So I should say like more gender neutral words like sorry, people. Sorry, Pythonisters. Is is the Mac? Yes, I have to upgrade it. I really need to. I really need to upgrade. Like recently I was like joining Steam, and it's a gaming thing, and I look at all these games, and a lot of them only runs on Windows. And sometimes like I feel like I need a better graphic card as well. Like I can render some of the beautiful 3D games. So yeah, I don't know how those people like how they do it. Like they are actually like those professional streamers. They streaming games at the same time. I'm only wanting Atom, and Atom crashes on me. So um, maybe I should use Vim. That's a good idea. Yeah, maybe next time I will use Vim. But the thing is, like, I only know how to exit Vim. I don't know how to like. Maybe should I try? Okay, that's dangerous, man. Seriously. See what I can do with my terminals, maybe. Oh God. Even I restarted that, I was like, no, I don't want to work. No, go to work, people. Go to work. I was just saying that I should stay at home and do nothing, and like now Atom was doing the same that I was recommending. So nice job, Atom. Right. I think I was abusing Atom too much because like usually I work on several projects at the same time, so that's why it's freaking out. I'm so sorry. I should have been nice to you. Um. So yeah. Right. Are you happy now, Atom? How's everything going? Okay. Okay, Atom is back alive, so I have to open it again. So sorry about that. And in the meantime, well, I can't really see. Sorry. Echo. Oh yeah, yeah. I can. Yeah, I can basically like. Yeah, or I can just copy like an old file. I can just show my old file. I did practice this time. I do have some files that I have prepared. But I would really want to live code for once. So, if my screen doesn't freak out, come on. Sorry about that. It's really not good. I know. Um, yeah, I don't know why. It's just okay. Stop being a whining baby. New file. Not new file. I pressed the wrong button. How shame of me. Okay, open. Okay, come on. I have to bring this back. I have set it up for like, yeah, right. Yeah. So, okay. I'll bring this baby back. Yes! It's back, but the dimension is horrible. Oh no. Uh, yeah, and everything is super slow at the moment as well. Yeah. Oh god. It's just super weird. It's not even opening. like the right project. Yeah. So okay, this is super small. So if I can change it, just 1 second. Right. I bring it back to the more or less the right dimension that I want to show. I don't know why when I save it, it doesn't like it. Come on. Right. Okay, I can close this one probably. Okay. So import Waco client. That's how you can do it. But I don't like it being like this. I like it. I like it. Import only the thing that I need. Because if you know that we actually have a lot of things in Waco that is useful. Um, but I only need the Waco client that talk to the database, and also I only need the Waco query, which let me build the Waco query. There's also the Waco data frame that you can output the query as a data frame. I'm not using it at the moment, so I just want to import those two that I need. So from Waco client, I would import Waco. I think it's capital. Yeah, Waco client. So this is different from the Waco client. So this is all small letter. It's like capital. I know the naming is horrible. So yeah, yeah. Waco query. Yeah. So Waco client, Waco query. That's the two things that I need. Also, I said that I'm using pandas because otherwise I won't install it. Panda is quite kind of big. So SPD. That's the data science convention. Right. Import. I probably don't need it. JSON. Yeah, maybe I don't need it. Okay, fine. That's only for debugging. Right. So now, since we are using the Python client API to talk to the database itself, so I would like to set up the server URL. I'm using the local image. So remember, okay, actually I should show you this in the browser. So and you see that what I've done before as well. So local host, not 4000, that's my website, 3636 console. So after you have installed TerminusDB, and after you have installed TerminusDB, and then with the QuickStart script, actually it will prompt you that it's now running on local 6363 console. So this is where my TerminusDB sits. So you can see that I already have it, the schema.org. Actually, I should delete it so I can. Whoa. Okay. Can I delete it, please? Okay, I'll delete it from the API. It's fine. So we can start from scratch. Or I can change the name. It's just like you can't have the same name at the same time. Yeah, it's fine. I can change the name. So this is what I did before. This is how you can actually see what you have done with your database. And this dimension is totally horrible. Can I fix this? Like, I really want you to see the top. Nope, it doesn't like it. Ah, yeah, it's a bit rushed today. Next time, I promise I will make the screen better. This is very finicky at the moment. I'm still new. I consider myself still a beginner in OBS. So, right. Go back to the script. So, we have Terminus DB, so we have to tell the clients that where our database is sitting. So where is our Terminus DB? So remember, it's localhost 6363, right? So I'll set the server URL is HTTP, the standard, right? Localhost 6363. Yeah, so this is you can actually, if you run TerminusDB on the cloud, if you have IP address, you can actually like change this, or you can have a Raspberry Pi set up in your room, and you can have TerminusDB running there all the time and handle like or like solve all your problems. That would be my dream. I think we should do a session that we actually like launch a Terminus DB on a Raspberry Pi. That would be good. I need to talk to my colleague about that. I think that could be a good episode. We do some hardware stuff. So also because that's our server, right? And then we can actually we need a key to enter. So the default, because if you use the QuickStart script, it will set it up for you like automatically, so you don't have to worry about that. But for the API key, the default is just root. It's fine because I'm just like running it on my local computer. People won't gonna break into it, so I'm kind of relatively safe. Yeah, to Raspberry Pi hanging around in your room. Can I use it? Can you ship it to me, please? Thank you. I want the newest Pi. You know, you have 4 GB of RAM in the new Raspberry Pi, so it's kind of powerful. And maybe we can set up a cluster as well. Haha, you can do some crazy stuff with it. So another thing that we need to set up for our database will be a DB ID. A DB ID. Do I want to put it like this? DB database. I can't spell. ID maybe like this. It's more Pythonic. Okay, cool. So name will be schema. I can't use space. I can't use emoji. So I'll just say schema tutorial. Uh, how about that? Okay, cool. So we have to go faster because I waste a lot of time fooling around. So um, okay, now we have set up the database. So like, how can we connect to the database? So what we can do is because we have this WoqL client, right? So what we can do is to create a WoqL client. So we create our own client, my client, just client. Yeah, that will be fine. I don't use it for other things. Naming is a difficult thing in programming. Trust me, it's the hardest thing ever. So a WoqL client, so you have to pass in your server URL, uh, and you have to pass in your key. So that's it. Because now you don't have the database, right? We'll create it. So, but now we have a client. We have initialized it, and then we have to. Oh, sorry. Actually, I made a mistake. So we will create it first. Sorry, it should be a different call. We'll create it, and then we'll connect it. Yeah, so this is the right way of doing it. So we create a client, and then we tell it to connect to this server with this key. So we are connected to a server now. So now we can tell a server to create a database with this database ID. So now let's clients, please create a database for me. DB ID. Great. So yeah, so now we can connect to it actually. So let's try it out. Let's see. So if we go to our terminal, so if I now run this script, so Python build your schema pi. So I hope you can see it. Like in my screen, it's like in my preview screen, it's super small. I hope you can see it. So I just run the script. That's it. That's all I do. I hope there's no warning. Nothing. It's doing something, obviously. It may be super slow because, as I said, I'm overloading my computer. So I may have to upgrade it very, very soon. So far, um, oh, I got an error. No module name WoqL client. Did I spell it wrong? Or is it like, let me double check. Oh, I know what I've done. I haven't installed the thing. Stupid me. Yeah. So what I can do is like I have to install a thing, right? So I told you I have a requirement.txt that was sitting around in the repo. Actually, I just gotta copy it into my folder here. So don't do what I'm doing. I'm showing you the wrong thing that you shouldn't do. So right. So now I have a requirements.txt. I should have already prepared it, but I forgot. Haha. Okay. So let's create a. So this is for beginners. It may not be the most obvious. So it's always a good practice to have a virtual environment for a different project. So I'm using pym virtual env. So pym virtual env. So So yeah, about this, I can also make another tutorial about virtual environments if there are any beginners who want to um, yeah, I'm using virtualenv, but virtualenv and pyenv actually were two different things. But there's actually a wrapper, virtual env wrapper that works with pyenv, so they together give me what I need. Because pyenv also only lets you to install different versions of Python on the same machine, and virtualenv is creating the virtual environment. So you need both of them together to use different virtual environment with different version of Python. So, but I can give you another tutorial. It's a bit complicated. I can spend another half an hour talking about virtual environments. But so far, this is my setup. And then I am using 3.7.3 for now. There is a little problem because it doesn't like Linux that much. I think there is a little bug in this distribution that is missing a module that it doesn't install properly. I may have to upgrade it soon so it doesn't give me that crazy warning. So I'm creating it. Let's call it. What should I call it? Naming. Okay, schema tutorial. I'm so creative. Okay. Oh, I created it. Okay, so fine. Like pyenv activate schema tutorial. Okay, it's like it's finding it. Yep, it's finding for me. Yes, because I have a lot of virtual environments, so you can see why this is so slow. So now I've created it. I have to install it. So pip install. Usually I tell people to python /m pip install, but it's fine. I'm in a virtual environment. I know what I'm doing, so this is fine. Requirements.txt. But if you have accidentally installed multiple versions of Python, the safest way is to python -m pip install. Okay. Right. So it should be installing now. I should have already done it like at the beginning of the tutorial, but being a dum-dum like me, I forget. So, yeah. Uh, It's super slow. That's why it's not a good idea. Actually, we'll continue. Actually, we can continue our script while it's installing. We just can't test it out at the moment, but you have to trust me that it works. So let's continue. So we have created a database, but we want to create a schema. That's what we are going to do today. Hopefully, we may not get to the end, but I will show you the basic idea. So um, first of all, we have to read in the data from the CSV. So this is not related to TerminusDB. It should be fine as long as we have our pandas, which I think is quite obvious for some of you. Right. Yeah, yeah, sure, definitely. It's important to have that step right. So, okay, let's go back to the tutorial. We would basically let's read the CSV from let's using pandas. So pd dot read CSV. So I want to read in the how about the type? Because type is the object if we want to construct them first. So or it actually doesn't matter that much, but you will know why later. But I want to do things really like structured, so I won't be too lost when I'm looking at my code. So that's why I always try to do things systematically. This one, after I read, I would just call it types. So this is a data frame types that we read in from here, and also we may want to read in the properties. So it's the same thing. So I can pd dot read up CSV. Yes, please. Right. So reading or um, right. So I have reading this too. So for each of them, actually, I want to. So there's a few things that's interesting about this. So the first column, if we look at it, if we can look at it, I think that may be the reason why it's crashing because it's too big. But anyway, I've done it again. So yeah, so it got an ID. So just look at the first row. It's not so obvious for you. So the first row is ID. So we care about ID and the label. So the label will be the name. Let me close this first. I don't want it to crash again. Thank you. Um, so we care about the ID and the label. They will be the name and they will be the ID and name of these objects. So what we can do is actually is better to write a function to do it. So let's create create object, create schema object. So so for the CSV for each row, I would take in for each row I would take in the ID and its label to construct the object, right? So I would do it one by one. So actually, it will be a series. So this is something that I think you have to have some understanding of pandas to understand. Because like what I gotta do here is like I would do an apply. So I would do a types dot apply. I'll apply this, right? So when I do this, actually each row will be executed, will be put in as a series inside this function. So and then what I gotta do is like I would construct a WOQL query that I would build a doc type with the ID of the series, right? I said the ID is gonna be the ID of it, and then the label will be its name. So actually we call it label in our WOQL as well. So you can see where it come from. It come from people who design all this schema thing. So label, no, yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I don't like about this chaining thing. I was asking the other day, I was giving a talk and I asked the question whether people prefer this or comma label label equals to that. But I think people prefer having label here. So maybe we'll have a design like redesign later. But right now, what I do is I do this in Python to change it. And then actually, at the end, we want to return this thing. So um, I'll save it as result first. That's what I like doing. And then at the end, I can return the result because then I have room to add in more stuff and do more complicated things. So return result. Right. So and also, if you look at the thing, I won't click on it again, but you have to trust me that there's also a comment in the series in the column. So the comment is how you describe. Oh, there's a typo. Yes, series dot label. Yes, you are very good. Good spot. Thank you. Um, yes. Yeah, that's the fun of live coding. You can help me debug. so, uh, so we also want to have the description. So that describe what this is. So it will be useful for somebody who look at the schema later to know what this actually is. So I think my install is done. That's where I see it. But I would go back to it later. So yeah, let's what should I do now? Let's add that in as well. Description. So add in the comment from the CSV from that for each row. So it will be the cell that contain the comment. It will be inject into this schema as a description of what this object is. So this is the very basic of how to construct a. I can actually make this bigger. I think I still got room for that. Right. Yeah. So yeah, so this is the basic of how we construct. Actually, I want to make it nicer. I am very, very OCD about this. Let's push it back here so it's nicer. Okay, right. So we have an ID, we have a label, we have a comment. That's great. That's great. And what we gotta do. So this is the very basic. And what I want to show you is if I go back to the terminal. So let's not do this for now. Just want to show you how we create a database. So we can read it in, it's fine. Okay, let's try to run our code. So go back to the terminal. So Python build. Yep. Hmm. It's super slow, but I hope it works. Yeah, I want to at least show you that we created a database. Um, because yeah, this is the warning that I talk about. Is the my Python version is a bit oh, server. I spelled it wrong. You see, this is why I want to run it from time to time, because I can debug on my like on the go. So server URL, yes, yeah. So it's generally a good idea to just like test it out step by step. That's why like when we do proper development, we want to use unit tests to make sure that each step is correct. And you see, I keep making mistake. Has no attribute. Ugh, okay. Uh, connect. Maybe I should. Yeah, I see. I should really separate that, because otherwise connect will give back a dictionary and it got us assigned to client, which is wrong. So we should do it properly. So actually, Waco client, this call will initialize a client object, and then I just call the client objects to do connect and create database. Yep. So let's try this again. Right. Okay. I have faith. So yep, got this crazy warning again. Missing one requirement. Hmm. What have I done wrong? Label. Say. Oops. 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 So actually, it's like it's running something, but why is create database? Why is complaining about this? Let me check. Because we have done nothing. We're just creating a database. Ah, I know why. Because we haven't given name to it. Because it's asking for name. So let's call it schema dark org. Because in name you can put anything. You can put the dot here is fine. But you have to put a name. You can't not put a name. Um, is it possible? I think maybe like we can change it to let people opt out to give a name. But that's super weird. You want a name for your database. So I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, now it's creating a database. Yeah. Right. Okay. So let's see. Go back here. We go back to home. Right. So now you see that. Oh, it's not refreshed. Sorry, I have to refresh it. Right. Come on, you can do it. Right, just so you see that this is my old one, but this is the new one, Schema Tutorial. I should have given a different name, sorry about that. But you can see this is a brand new database that it doesn't have anything. It has nothing. Um, so yeah, so we just create a database, that's it, that's all we do. You can also delete it as well. I think like if you run the code again now, I'll show you. If you run the code again now, it will give you an error because you can't create a database twice with the same ID. You can have the same name like I did before, but you can't have the same ID. So what you want to do is every time you run the script, you want to delete your database before you create a new one. So you can see, like now you have this error that the Terminus DB is telling you, no, 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 you can't have two databases with the same name. So what I gotta do is delete database. So I'll give the same database ID. So just tell Terminus DB, okay, I want to start from scratch. Please delete it and create a new one for me, please. So if you run it now, you won't have an error again. But if you run this script like the first time, then it will tell you, oh no, I can't find this database to delete. So yeah, it's funny. Um, properties. Oh, did I spell it wrong again? uh, right. Where is it? Properties. Yep. Nice spot. I can't see my mistake. I don't know how. But anyway, you have been staring at it longer than I am, so yeah, because I'm juggling on this window. Um, right, so this is how we construct a very, very basic object. So let's see if we try to do it with the types to see if we can create it. That would be great. So I want to apply it, but this one will return a new query object. I want to store it somehow. So let's call it, what should I call it? I will just create a new column in the database. How about that? I will call it a query object. Right. I would, so apply from pandas will go through the data frame one by one, and for each row it will take in all this information, create a WoqL query object for me, return it, and I store it as a new row. No, sorry, new column. It's called query objects, and it should work in theory. So how about that? We just like print it out to see whether we have it. So let's print types dot head. I just want to see the first five whether the object exists, right? So yeah. Oh, there is a failure. Why? Did I spell something wrong again? Yes, it's a spelling mistake. That's so inconvenient of my horrible spelling. It's fine. We're gonna run it again anyway. You see that it is working, and then it also will print out the CSV for us. Hopefully, unless we came into another error, which I'm horrible. I need to really practice typing faster and typing with less mistake. There's a game that you can play to train that. It's called The Typing of the Dead. If you're old enough, you'll remember it because there was a popular game called The House of the Dead. So series has no IDs, really? Seriously? Really? It's not attribute. Types. Read CSV. Let me double check what's wrong. Series .id. Right. So I create a doc type series.id. So series.label is complaining that types apply. How about we go one step back and just check this first before we do anything else. Right. Okay. Maybe I read in the wrong file. Um, yep, let's see what we have. Yeah, we have the ID. Why is it complaining? Oh, I know why. Because when you use apply, it actually default to apply it like row, column by column. I want it row by row. That's why. So, so this is also learning pandas. So for apply here. So let's delete this. It's only for debugging. So this one you have to tell them the axis equals to 1, because otherwise the default is 0, which means that it goes like column by column, but we want it row by row. So here you go. So you should go like this. Yeah, so let's see if this work. Right, now it should work. So yeah, you see that we delete the database and create it again. So it's fine. Right. Hmm. I really don't like this warning message. I really have to fix it. So yeah, typing of the dead. I have to totally like. I like the game because it's fun. Actually, it's like it doesn't take themselves very seriously. But yeah, now you see that we don't have an error. And also, this is the query. It's horrible to see because my screen is super cramped. But you can see that we have this WoqL object here that is created, which is good. So we have the query objects here, query objects, and we have the query object, which is what we want. So it's a good sign. Um, so, and then I think we have 10 more minutes, and then I would try to maybe, what can I do? Because this is a very complex schema. I don't think we're going to finish building it today. Maybe I can